Glad to have you with us from Stillwater, Oklahoma, Boone Pickens Stadium. Little gets the blood boiling, quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field. It's the Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Along with David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Holly Rowe is down on the sideline.
Oklahoma State's head coach told me before the game, this running back has been a revelation all season long. They brought him in the transfer portal, and he has delivered. Each and every week, we see the chemistry grow between he and the quarterback and their offensive line. Now in playoff contention, making some noise in the top 15, they are starting to be a team to contend with, and it is all because of this running back and how he is fueling this offense. Back to you.
Holly, thank you. And the Cowboys will kick off first, and here we go. Fielded in the end zone, it's Lee. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Running inside, it's Dickey. Tripped up at the 25 after picking up 4. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. You don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. These teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired, but you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now, it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
Ball sitting right at the 30. It'll be 3rd and short. Here's a little room there. He'll be forced out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 44-yard line, and this offense has it going.
And as a defensive guy, man, when you play a QB like this, that will take off and run and has the speed to make you pay, it just limits what you can do. It limits the amount of coverages. It just makes you play a lot more hesitant. And you can see right there, man, the guy's got speed. Interested to see how this defense continues to attack this QB.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
They'll go right back to him. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
Looking for a man. It's Hammond. Right down the middle. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You've got to be able to make that play.
Big man has it. It's a 1st down and more. They make the stop, but not before. He gets enough to convert on 4th down, and rolling the dice pays off. This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Working that wide receiver screen. Hit and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
And you've already seen this QB, man. He's willing to spread the ball around and take what the defense gives him and not force it to his go-to guy. But it's not a surprise. When you get it to him, good things happen. He can chew up chunks of yards and make those big plays.
Oh, and he can't hold the pitch, and the ball's loose. Defense picks it up. Off and running. The 50. The 30. At the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. The defense putting points on the board.
Nice job by the defense forcing the fumble. That took the perfect bounce right into the DB's hands. He shows you the speed and takes it back all the way for a touchdown. That was the definition of a fortuitous bounce.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. That is a defensive player's dream. Ball sitting there, chance to scoop it up, run with it, and they don't stop you until the band starts playing. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Finding themselves down 7-0, they'd love to get a drive going here. Makes the catch. It's Carter. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on first down, setting up an easier second down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on second down.
The Red Raiders moving quickly to the line.
I love the idea, and I love just finding ways to get your best players out in the...
Got a little grass. Past the 20. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders.
And that is the easiest touchdown pass that guy is ever going to throw. The little touch pass, jet sweep. And how about the speed out in the open field? Man, David, quarterbacks love those. Those are stat builders.
And defensively, man, we've got to see that. We've got to adjust. Safeties have to be able to come down and play that jet sweep. It's frustrating when you see him not adjust. And then, listen, you could see it, the wheels. I mean, that dude had some speed when he got around the corner, and nobody could catch him. But defensively, we've got to see that a second sooner so we can come up and make a play.
The run inside. It's Hawkins. It's runs like that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35.
And I think this is the key in this game, man. These rivalry games, it's about passion, it's about emotion. And coming to this game, we saw him last week, man. He had over 100. Last year in the blowout, he was a non-factor. He's got to be the catalyst in this game. You can't have a repeat of what happened a year ago, where you're throwing the football because you're behind and you got beat down. Got to establish the line of scrimmage.
They'll run play action. Moving out to the right. Couldn't find anyone open here, and he'll live to fight another play. It'll be third down.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
The Cowboys come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. They'll try to bully their way for the first. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Man, this is a defense that prides themselves on stopping the run, and that is a huge statement on their opponent's opening drive of the game. Third and short, they don't just get a stop. They get a tackle for...
Look at this, guys. The offense appears to be going for it from their own side of the field. Might be changing the route. On fourth down, going to the air. At midfield, he's got room. Oh, out of space. He's at the 10. To the house. Touchdown, Cowboys.
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands right to him and say, all right, dude, You got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish things off with a big play, 68 yards on the touchdown pass. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Dickey. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Good, solid pickup on that one, and they've got it out to the 40, and it's first down. We've reached the break. Oklahoma State is on top, and we've come to the end of one. And let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the second quarter. So first down here as they go back to work. On the run, it's Dickey. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the run.
It is deafening in here. The paddle people going to work. Third down and a big one for the Cowpokes. Looking downfield, it's Hammond. Intercepted for the 11th time. He'll try to take it back. The 20. Touchdown, Oklahoma State. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And they come up with a huge pick 6, and that is one of the reasons this defense has been so dominant all season long. They don't give up big plays, but they take the football away. And once they do, they've got better athletes than you do. They're hard to bring down. They can flip the game on a dime.
And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. He'll bring it out. It's Hudson. He gets across the 20 and out to the 21-yard line before he stopped right there. A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Direct snap. It's Dickey. They'll knock him down after a 6-yard gain to the 27.
Well, I know he was struggling to get going early in this game. That right there, though, was easily his best run so far. And this is one of the more talented running backs you're going to see in the entire nation. They need more runs like that to get this offense going if they're going to win this game.
They keep feeding him in this running game, and the defense is having none of it, and it's been that way all day.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Third and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense and the ball.
Wait just a minute, guys. The offense looks as if they're going for it in their own end. On fourth down, trying to find his man. Snags it, and he's open. He's got enough for the first down, and they roll the dice and convert to keep this drive going. And the Red Raiders want to pick up the tempo.
That tells you a lot about their confidence in this quarterback. Fourth down early in the game on your own end, and you go for it, but when you make decisions and throws like that, it's easy to see why.
And, man, you love to see that from this offense, coming out and answering, right? Like putting a drive together. Their defense just gave up a touchdown, but you want to snatch the momentum back. Nice job putting a little bit of a drive together. Now let's go cap this thing off with a touchdown.
He wants to throw it again. Finds his man. It's sticky. And the defense able to drag him down, but not before. They'll recycle that down marker. Defensive coordinator showing heat before the snap. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game, running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. They've got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
4 wide out set, 2 on either side on 2nd and 10. Back to throw, it's Hammond. Fires quickly, turning it on. Good throw and catch, takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
Really nice job responding by the offense here. They watched the opponent go down the field and score a touchdown on that last drive, and you can see the quarterback there in the commercial break. He's telling his guys, let's go. We're going to go get this one. Everybody lock in. And that's what you're seeing on this drive. Doing a
touchdown, Red Raiders! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And I tell you what, Reese, I'm not picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this at the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. It just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
And the point after is good. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Running inside, it's Hawkins. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma State. They've climbed into the top 10, been through some battles, proving themselves to be one of the best teams in the country. What do you think about their chances of staying there?
Well, they got to keep playing at a high level, and obviously they've had tons of success now to crack into the top 10. I'll tell you, when you get top 10, David, you get everybody.
And the rush will get to him at the 25.
And the defense makes a play, finally. This is a lot of offense early in this football game, a lot of scoring. Need more of this from the defense. Getting to the quarterback, making him feel uncomfortable, and then when you get him down, you get him behind the sticks. Good things happen for your defense.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Coleman open on the right. It's a game of first downs, and they've got one out to their own 37.
There's a reason 3rd down is called the money down. What a great find by the quarterback. Great job finding his receiver. At the end of the game, you look at 3rd down percentages. It tells a huge story, and it goes a long way in deciding who wins a football game.
And the Cowboys will snap it on 1st and 10. Wants to throw it again. Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And that's a really good job by this defense. A complete defensive effort. When the back end makes the quarterback hold the football a little longer than he wants to, and then the pass rush gets home, hits him, and forces the incompletion.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Lets it fly. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play. Trying to impose their will with the run. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down.
Man, who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks, I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? The run inside. It's sticky.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
The crowd getting behind this defense as they try to get a stop in the red zone. Makes a grab. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it first and goal.
That is a play the offense absolutely had to have. They're trailing, right? This is a big third down, but what a great job by the QB and his target being on the same page, hooking up for that big-time play. Now they're in the red zone, and all of a sudden they got a chance to score a touchdown here and make this thing interesting.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the...
Touchdown, Red Raiders! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Nice job putting a drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a staff that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To the air on first down. Quickly complete. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Hawkins. There he goes. The tap. Touchdown, Cowboys. Rolled into the end zone, and this crowd was eating it up.
And they pound the rock. The run game comes through late in the first half when you needed it. Now they take the lead. They take the momentum. That's how you end the first half.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. What a display of explosive capabilities on that drive. 75 yards, 2 plays, and a touchdown. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Looking to throw, it's Hammond. Complete with conviction on the crosser. Texas Tech will call a timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. get off a play before we head to halftime. Looking to throw on first down. He'll take a deep shot here. Makes the catch on the left. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line. As we close in on halftime, a timeout is taken here. And in the final seconds of the first half, they'll send out the field goal unit. You see this kicker not only needing to generate power, but lining it up from the left hash, a 59-yard try coming. Thought he had it and couldn't get it through the uprights. He missed it. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, down the stretch we come on what's been a thrilling college football season. Week 11 filled with storylines. Let's start with TCU taking on the Baylor Bears.
So the Cowboys offense heads onto the field to start this drive. Looking to throw on first down. Quick completion on the out route. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield.
Yeah, and he runs a quick out route, and this is a timing route. Quarterback has to trust him, throw him the football. You can tell they've thrown this a time or two. Nice job, nice success.
Wants to throw on first down. Got it behind the line. It's Hawkins. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning.
Love the awareness by the defense here. They're trying to get the running back the ball in space, but the defense was expecting it. They had guys in position. They located the football, and they went and game tackled.
You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41. He now has 84 yards rushing, and that should be no surprise. He's been among the nation's elite all season. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And just left that pass short. Not enough juice on that one.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the third quarter and get a stop on third, that should really help their confidence.
Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. To the air, it's Hammond. With the catch, it's Johnson. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. The Red Raiders headed quickly to the line.
And when you run these drag routes, it's super important that your quarterback can really use his eyes. Don't lock in where everybody's going to start looking at you and seeing what's coming. Does a good job, drops back, sees it, and the most important part, puts the ball out in front so he can catch it, get upfield, and make some extra yards after the catch.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Quick release on the RPO. Great job on the containment and the tackling. They stop him for no gain.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Finds a man in the middle. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down. And the Red Raiders are moving quickly down the field. Running inside. It's Dickey. Sweet cut there. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down. The Red Raiders kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Goes to the option. Quick toss. And the fourth option there is to throw it in reverse, and that's what happened on that one. Lost yardage on that last one. It's second and 11.
And I think that time the quarterback made the wrong read. He was trying to pitch it. He didn't have to, though. There was a lot of green grass and space out in front of him. If he just holds on to that football, he might not score a touchdown. He's definitely going to be able to at least get positive yards. I think that's a play on the option the quarterback would like to have back.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Trying to pick up a first down. Looking to throw, it's Hammond. Fires to the middle. Another incompletion on third down.
Man, an almost disaster again for this offense. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. The defense got their hands on another one. They are dialed in. They really got a good beat on this passing game.
He needed a little late boost from the crossbar, but he gets it to go through. The lead now trimmed to 28-24.
And how about the three-pointer from downtown? The long field goal attempt, they trust their kicker, and it took every inch. Just hits the crossbar and gets over and goes in.
They'll grab the squib kick just inside the 10. Good job by the coverage unit to put a stop to that return. The Cowboys come out to get this drive started. They weren't able to move it on their last possession, ended up punting it away, but now in a tight game, another opportunity for this offense. Got enough for the first. He just broke the century mark, 100 yards on the ground, and he's been terrific all season, ranking in the top 10 in rushing. They're backed up just a little, 1st and 10 from their own 19. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. Found a little bit of running room, knocked down at the 24 after a pickup of 4.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
That pass is incomplete.
The defense was obviously ready for that play. They've obviously been watching film. They know that that pass play is one of the bread and butter plays this offense has, so nice job defending.
Boy, could they use a conversion on 3rd and short from their own 24. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Makes the grab in their space. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31 and a big pickup on that one.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time.
Quarterback can't pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41.
And the defense has given up some plays, some passing yards on this drive. You want to stop that? Nice job rushing the quarterback, making him feel a little bit of pressure and getting him on the ground, and now getting him behind the sticks.
Complete, left side, Coleman. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
I'll tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands, and you saw it on that last play.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. This game is all but officially a wrap as we take a look at the top 25. Late in the season, time running short. Teams want to make their move in the rankings. So we open the final period with a third down play. On third and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. And it's taken away by the defense, and they desperately needed that turnover. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Man, we needed that so bad. We needed the football, had to get a stop, forcing a turnover. Best case scenario, offense back on the field, trailing in the fourth quarter. Time to go win.
Breaks the tackle. Hits the crease. The 40. Past the 30. The 20. They'll get him on the ground, but he takes it all the way down to the 10.
It is so nice to have a guy that can take a play that looks like it's going for no gain, break the tackle, and then you've got an explosive play now in great field position.
It's so awesome. You don't have to block it perfectly. He makes the guy miss, breaks the tackle, goes almost all the way down the field. Great play call. Give it to that guy.
You know, the one thing you can say about this defense, they pursue the football. The first guy might miss, the second guy might miss, but there's going to be more and more hats flying to the ball carrier. You saw it on that play getting the tackle for loss.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. He caught it! Touchdown, Red Raiders! They've got the lead here in the fourth.
And just like that, the game is completely changed, right? The defense comes away with a huge turnover, and the offense able to cash it in, capitalize by scoring a touchdown. So they've now got the lead. Not a lot of time left, but it feels like all the momentum is now on their side.
That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Oklahoma State hoping to get the Pistols firing on offense. They're in a precarious spot here, that lofty perch in the rankings, hanging in the balance unless they can do something to save themselves here. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play. The Cowboys racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And this is the hard part about being on defense and choosing whether to be conservative or bring the blitz. They bring the blitz, he sees it, and that's what he does really well. Sees it and immediately makes a decision, gets to some green grass, and gets a positive gain for this offense.
One possession game. You have got to be able to give your quarterback an opportunity to survey the field. He didn't have it that time. Got hit, it affected the accuracy, and it falls incomplete.
The run inside. It's Hawkins. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. They're going to go from their own side to the line quickly. A big play here. Still on his feet at the 45. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on fourth down, and they keep the drive alive. Finally, some signs of life from this offense, which has done nothing in the second half. It's 1st and 10. Gain of 8 yards on the play. He's too short of the first down. Got 8 on first down. Now looking at a 2nd and 2.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
And he won't quite get there, but boy, after that pickup, just a few inches to go for the first. An array of possibilities here. A field goal attempt from here would be 54 yards. They'd love to pick up a few on third down. He'll pitch it. Finds a little space. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
And we've already seen this QB have success throwing the football down the field. How about the variety to his game? Now you run the option, you make the right read, get it to your pitch man where he can get upfield, get some extra yards. He's in the zone right now.
That's reeled in. It's Hawkins. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
You know, it's funny. I know running backs oftentimes are afterthoughts when it comes to the passing game, but when you think about it, this guy's been making people miss his entire life taking handoffs. So why wouldn't you try to get him involved in the passing game as well? You just saw in that last play how dangerous he is after the catch.
Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. And the Cowboys with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. From the gun, running back gets to give. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I think the run defense, a lot of times late in the game, you always wonder how well it'll hold up. Nice job on this play by this defense, getting in and getting the running back on the ground.
He'll pitch it. Creates a little space. Maybe some room here. And he's knocked down, but not before he picks up enough for the first down.
And I feel sorry for this defense. Like, they're having to defend the entire field. QB's already shown he can beat you with his arm. Now with his legs and his decision-making, getting the ball to the pitch, man, he's shown a variety. In this defense, they're having to defend the whole entire field.
Pistols firing, touchdown Cowboys. And they've moved out front here in the 4th. The Cowboys fought back on top.
This is an offense that has so much confidence. They believe they're able to win the game when it matters the most. They've got the playmakers to do it. You saw it on that last touchdown. Now taking the lead with less than 2 minutes to go.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Dropping back, it's Hammond. A beautifully placed ball to the outside, and the toe drag for the big pickup.
And they've trusted him to throw the football.
And wait just a second. The official's going to take a second look at this one. And the play will stand after the replay booth just does a little double checking to make sure. And the Red Raiders have a lot of options on 2nd and inches. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Sticky. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot it at the 37.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to...
And he throws his 3rd pick of the day. His head has to be spinning. He stopped, not much on the return, but a whole lot in getting the football.
And some guys just have a knack of finding the football, and he is one of them. Like, you can just tell when the ball's in the air, he's like, that is mine. His second...
Going the other way, he's got room. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be 2nd and just a few breaths away from the first down.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down and create 2nd and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run, I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
They'll go right back to the run. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Texas Tech will call a timeout. That's their first. And they'll still have 2 timeouts left for the rest of this game. Ball at the 31. 3rd and short coming. Defense trying to rise up. They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. That just never happened. chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down. Now this is rolling the dice, or perhaps they've gone outside their head. They're already up. Boy, this could really backfire if they don't convert on fourth down. And he never had a chance to pick up the first down. Knocked out of bounds, and they'll give up the ball. What a show both of these teams put on today. Couple of outstanding squads. Hotly contested battle all the way to the very end.
Yeah, we came into this one expecting this to be a back-and-forth battle. We knew it was going to go down late into the fourth quarter. At the end of the day, the higher-ranked team, David, they were really able to lean on those playmakers and that leadership they've got in the locker room.
Yeah, and now I think even more so, you're starting to believe in them. They're battle-tested. This team they find a way to get things done. That's why they're ranked where they're at. And I expect this team to stay in contention for the college football playoff because they're proving week in and week out they're a really good squad.
This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis saying goodbye, everybody.